What up, YouTube? How WorldStar destroyed their platform. Now, I'm an old head, so I remember when WorldStar was popping at like 2000. Y'all remember like when niggas used to be like fighting and people used to be like WorldStar, WorldStar. I don't know, man, but when I was around, like people would fight. Like that's just what you say, WorldStar.
It seems like just yesterday everybody was yelling WorldStar when there was a fight. Or you would go and check out WorldStar's page to find
Yo, I swear to God, I didn't know you was gonna say that, bro. See what I'm saying?
some of the hottest up-and-coming artists. But nowadays, it just seems like a page where anybody and everybody can post their mediocre music videos, and their blog posts these days just seem to lack the entertainment value that once made them stand out. So to understand how WorldStar went from being this huge cultural influence to something that no one really talks about anymore, we gotta go back to its creation. Also, another big page that used to have a bit more of a cultural influence was Lyrical Lemonade, but I feel like they kind of lost that touch and I want to talk about it, but I might get cooked for my opinion, so let me know what you guys think down below, and make sure to subscribe and stick around, and I'll make the video in the next couple weeks. Anyways, let's continue. In 2005, a guy named Lee O'Donnell, aka Q, was trying to make some money. As a rap fan, he decided to start a website called WorldStar Hip Hop so he could sell mixtapes. However, for whatever reason, hackers decided to destroy his website right after it was launched, so Q had a little bit of a setback. But he decided, after being inspired by YouTube, that he would shift the content of his website to becoming more of a video platform instead.
How did you start WorldStar? Like, how was that idea?
I mean, it came about just like, you know what I mean, seeing the space with YouTube, you know what I mean, the success of YouTube back then when they got signed with Google, and I noticed that everything's gonna be going towards videos, you know what I'm saying, because I was one of the first cats to do a mixtape sites in 01. And then I was like, yo, this, it's too saturated right now. Let me go ahead and think of the next curve. So that was like videos online. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I respected the DVDs in the hood, and I felt like cats can't get these DVDs to be seen all over the world. So, why not, chop it up, break it up, and put it out there. So, the whole masses just loved it, you know what I mean?
Very quickly, he started posting videos on the WorldStar website, but there was something interesting about the videos he was posting. A lot of the WorldStar videos were crazy, almost live leak level crazy. It was fight videos, sexual videos, and everything and anything in between. It wasn't entirely hip-hop related. Honestly, most of it wasn't hip-hop related, and it wasn't long before it just became known as a website that had crazy fight videos and things like that. One of the first vids that kind of blew the site up was when a guy who went by the name Trashman took responsibility for killing the rapper Stacked Bundles. And with this type of crazy content, pretty quickly WorldStar was getting 4 million views a month. And eventually they became so widely known for crazy fight videos that everyone was screaming WorldStar when there was a fight.
When you look at how far WorldStar has come, I mean, it's a phenomenon, right? I mean, like you just hear people say WorldStar, right? It is a meme on camera now.
It's a battle cry.
Yeah.
WorldStar! WorldStar! WorldStar!
Yeah, WorldStar! Damn! Yeah, World!
WorldStar! Two knockouts! Knockout! WorldStar! WorldStar!
How's that for a badass?
Woo! WorldStar! WorldStar!
And obviously it wasn't only fight videos. They had some other stuff like funny moments, twerk videos, and pretty much anything else that was entertaining. To get an idea of what they were posting, they would title their videos things like, "He warned him, bully asking for a fight gets dropped," or "One-legged man on crutches tries to shoot up a store." They even had a video called "Rat and Pigeon Go At It in Brooklyn." All of their videos had that early internet vibe that's pretty hard to describe, but you can really only see it on like Facebook nowadays. It's hard to explain how culturally relevant WorldStar was, but I remember back in like middle school, everyone was watching their fight videos on the computers in the computer lab, and everyone would scream WorldStar when something crazy happened. It was truly a different time. But what was unique about WorldStar is that apart from YouTube, they were one of the first places on the internet to post funny moments, fight videos, and crazy clips that people love to watch. There was also this infamous hip-hop groupie named Kat Stacks who would post viral videos on there talking about her sexual experiences with rappers. One of her viral videos was one of her with Soulja Boy, boy and heard later saying that he was a crackhead. And things like this helped to blow up WorldStar for a while, until she claimed years later that Q paid her to make up these stories. Another thing they did differently was the watermark. I don't know how often people were watermarking things back in the late 2000s, but WorldStar watermarked all of their viral videos, which drove a ton of attention to the website. WorldStar got so big that companies were even using it for promotion, with people like Diddy even using WorldStar to announce his work with Ciroc Vodka, which was a good thing back then. Q was getting tens of millions of dollars in investment offers for his company and clearly was on the come up. By 2011 and 2012, WorldStar was probably at their peak popularity, ranking as the 278th most visited URL in the United States. WorldStar got so big that it got to the point where the police would even monitor the website when looking for leads. A spokesperson for one sheriff's department said, "We pretty much rely on the public to report on these videos, and they are pretty good about sending them to us." As you can imagine, if the police are monitoring your website to get like leads on their cases, there may be some issues. And that was definitely the case, as WorldStar very quickly became very controversial. Billboard once described WorldStar as often being dismissed for lowest common denominator entertainment, and this type of thing garnered a lot of complaints against the site. One of the most famous criticisms of the website is when a video was posted of a kid who was saying he wanted to kill President Bush.
By listening closely, the President of the United States of America, George W. Bush, will die. And I'm serious this time. I'm not playing around. Somebody got to take care of the trash. Somebody got to take them out. And that's going to be one of my people. So watch out, George W. Bush. There's going to be snipers, killers, and bounty hunts coming from you.
Apparently there was like 8 minutes of this, and I thought it was hilarious because who's taking this little kid seriously? But apparently Bill O'Reilly from Fox News was taking him seriously because he did a whole segment attacking WorldStar for posting this video.
Kid looks to be about 9 or 10 on his hip-hop website. Do we know anything more about him?
It's really disgusting. It's really frightening.
It's child abuse. It's crime. This is a crime. If this were an adult, the Secret Service would arrest the adult. Now, I believe the Secret Service should arrest the parents of this kid and the purveyor of the website. Now, we know who the website is, correct?
Yes, it's registered, but I don't know much else about him.
But the Secret Service should investigate this, and you can't arrest the kid, but you can certainly, this is child abuse. There's no question this is child abuse.
So yeah, this situation was a pretty big deal and one of the first major attacks on WorldStar. Although looking back, I can't believe that this was anyone's main complaint about the website. What's really funny about this though is that after Bill O'Reilly was kicked off Fox for a sexual harassment controversy, WorldStar reported on it, which I bet they did with a lot of joy. However, there were some much more serious complaints against WorldStar. One of them was the age-old complaint of kids being able to access the website. But Q said, well, it's up to the parents. The parents got to put that censorship on their computers. There were also many other people who said it was unethical for Q and WorldStar to profit off of people's suffering with all the fight videos, or to make money from the many other controversial things that happened on there.
People hear, when they hear you talk like that, they be like, well, why do you put all them negative images on WorldStar if you care so much about the community then?
I mean, again, we show everything, you know what I'm saying? It's not just going to paint this Disneyland picture for everyone wants to see. So we like to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, you know, that's our job as well, to be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm hip hop. You know, I was around hip hop since the birth. And, you know, growing up, you know what I'm saying, the hood is all about keeping it real, loyalty. And I think that these videos were there before WorldStar. It's not just something that we created, you know what I mean?
Q has also said in relation to the controversy, we're showing people what's been going on forever, and people want to point at us and blame us for what's going on. He said that WorldStar was like the CNN of the ghetto. Another complaint was the hip-hop part of WorldStar hip-hop, with people saying that Q and his platform were misrepresenting hip-hop and its culture. And based on some of his statements, that might not have been too far-fetched. Q once said, hip-hop is for the sex, the drugs, the violence, the beef, the culture. That's the competitiveness of hip-hop. So I felt like the site needed to be R-rated. People may be offended by some of the content, but hey, the internet is not a censorship boat. We're the Carnival Cruise, man. You don't have to log on. It seems like in every single interview Q did, he was having to defend WorldStar from the public and the critics. WorldStar was so crazy that even Childish Gambino made a song called WorldStar where he was mainly mocking the viewers and partially the website for being obsessed with fame and going viral despite the violent or crazy crazy actions that were necessary, which ironically is still a huge thing today. But it wasn't just critics who had a problem with WorldStar. 50 Cent and Q also had a little bit of a beef for a while. It's funny because it feels like every single video I do about anything 50 Cent is always involved one way or another. But regardless, in 2009, 50 Cent decided to sue WorldStar for using his image on their website without his permission. I don't think 50 cared that much, but he was definitely having some fun when he got a phone call to speak with Q.
I would like that very much. Could you please put him on the line?
All right, let me act. I don't want to just get it. I gotta be fair. I can't set anybody up.
He's not gonna want to talk with me here. He's afraid for his life.
All right, can you hold on and I'll go check?
Angie, he's afraid for his life. Don't what's up me, you sucker. Don't what's up me, you sucker. I should black your eye.
So shit gonna black my eye?
I said, don't what's up me, you sucker. Tell him I was on my tour bus in 2003, you punk. And you created an area where everybody can try and hate on me. Pay with me if you want. Pay with me if you want. You see the suit and tie, you think I clean all the way up like that? Watch me show you some of the old me.
I'm trying to talk to you one-on-one.
All right, then you come to the office and we sit down and that's it.
All right,
We'll talk later. We'll talk later. Ain't nothing to talk about on the air. You heard me.
I think some of that was jokes though, because eventually Q and 50 patched it up and settled the suit years later. But all of this goes to show how controversial WorldStar used to be. So in my opinion, it seems like they kind of tried to switch it up a little bit, and it seems as if they tried to use their platform for a bit more good. On top of that, WorldStar was struggling to compete with platforms like YouTube and Vine, which was a thing at that time. Q said, "There's no reason we shouldn't be standing up with the Snapchats, the Vines. We're missing that piece to make a full picture. It's all about finding the right team." And because of everything I just talked about, there obviously were some reasons why they weren't up there with those platforms. So it seemed like WorldStar began dipping their hands in other sorts of media as a way of expanding or pivoting. Eventually it seemed as if WorldStar in its later years was more known for breaking artists or always having up-and-coming talent on their page, rather than just crazy clips. In 2008, WorldStar exclusively premiered its first big music video with Ace Hood and DJ Khaled's track Cash Flow. Q said, "Khaled saw we were growing fast and we got that first exclusive video. And that kind of made people realize we just didn't have crazy videos, but we premiered music videos too." It took a while for them to pivot to premiering videos as one of their main objectives, but eventually I think that was the next big thing they were known for.
Well, Stephen Derry, rappers want to be on it, so do aspiring video vixens. Sometimes they make news. Always the WorldStar hip-hop website is a must-see for hundreds of thousands of viewers every day, and now they're branching out into new territory.
On WorldStarHipHop.com, you'll see exclusive videos by hot rappers like Future, entertaining stunts, rants, fights, or outrageous videos.
Over the years, WorldStar helped break artists like 6ix9ine, YBN Amir, Smoke Perp, Ice Spice, Blueface, 21 Savage, and a ton more. Keep in mind I said they helped break these artists, putting out huge music videos in their early careers, because up until fairly recently they had tons and tons and tons of huge music videos posted to their page. Billboard said, "WorldStar has a long track record of being early on rap's rising stars. A lot of stuff broke on WorldStar. If Q felt a way about something, he really acted on it. There's a lot of stuff that wouldn't have happened in the industry if it wasn't for him. The streets pay attention to WorldStar. They dictate what's going on, what's hot in the culture. Their YouTube page particularly was like their last bastion of hope for the company. But then something happened that would derail WorldStar's future forever." On January 23rd of 2017, the founder of WorldStar, Lee O'Donnell, aka Q, tragically passed away at the age of 43. WorldStar issued a statement saying, "Q was a brilliant businessman who championed urban culture, ultimately creating the largest hip-hop website in the world. But more than that, he was a devoted father and one of the nicest, most generous persons to ever grace this planet." And while Q was a controversial figure because of many people claiming he was just profiting off of terrible things, like The Guardian even saying that he started modern blaxploitation, it seemed as if Q genuinely had good intentions with his company. For example, a few years before his passing, Q made some documentaries about the life of inner cities of places like Chicago and Miami. According to Billboard, rather than treat low-income areas as aesthetic fodder, these videos gave voices to local residents and talent and attempted to flesh out the complex and complicated worlds so often glossed over by other outlets. But after Q died, it seemed like WorldStar did as well, and a lot of fans seemed to share that same sentiment. Q definitely had a vision for the company and knew what he was doing. He was able to successfully pivot from the blog era to the social media era, utilizing other platforms like YouTube and Instagram. Right before he passed, he even announced that WorldStar was going to be premiering their own show on MTV, because Q was smart enough to realize that doing the same thing they were doing wouldn't last forever. But Q never got to see his brand make it to TV, and his vision was never fully realized. After the passing of Q, WorldStar was purchased by a company called Media Lab that owns other old and dying websites like Kick and DatPiff. And based on how those websites ended up, it's no wonder that WorldStar kind of fell apart too. Nowadays, WorldStar is in quite the sad state. Like, I checked out their website and it just seems outdated. Then I went to the advertise on WorldStar page and it was just claiming that WorldStar is the #1 destination for hip-hop music and culture on the internet, which just isn't true. If you want to find new rap songs or culturally important things, you're gonna go to TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and all these other sites that got dedicated pages to the stuff you're interested in. Not WorldStar's pages full of spammy posts that are almost all paid promotion. I actually looked at their prices and it's $5,000 for an Instagram post, $8,000 for a YouTube post, $2.5 for an Instagram story, and $3.5 for a TikTok post. But because so many people nowadays are buying this stuff, it's just overly saturated and no one really cares. So it definitely isn't worth the money. On top of that, a lot of their posts nowadays are just really lame and some of them are in very poor taste. Like when Takeoff died, they posted a picture of his body like it was just the news. And it's just such a poorly run page now. No one is really going to blogs these days. The younger generations look to pages on already established platforms like Instagram and TikTok. People are watching videos on pages like Complex, Rap TV, Barstool, and the millions of other random pages posting videos. And don't get me wrong, WorldStar is still around and getting decent views on their TikTok clips and Instagram posts, but they just don't bring anything unique to the table anymore. For example, Rap TV is one of the Instagram pages that's always on top of the news. Complex has had unique series like sneaker shopping. Barstool has their Caleb Presley interviews. All of these pages have things that are unique to them, but WorldStar no longer has the cultural impact that they once did, like the crazy videos or breaking new artists. They aren't getting people like Diddy to do promotion on their page anymore. Not like that's really a good thing these days, but back then it was. Not to mention that most of the views they get these days are no longer on their blog, but they're on other platforms. I think a fan on Reddit put it well when they said, "This is just due to the age of blogs/platforms other than social media kind of dying out. Attention has been monopolized by IG, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, which kind of kills the air in the room for the other sites." It had a good run. Without Q there to come up with other ideas to keep WorldStar alive, instead Media Lab has the control of the website and seems to be letting it exist on life support, using the same old techniques that every other media page does nowadays. Q wanted WorldStar to stand out, and for a while it did have a cultural influence. But now that a big corporation has control of WorldStar, it seems as if the page has succumbed to that lifeless corporate nonsense that Q tried to avoid. If you like this video about the history of WorldStar and what happened to the company, you may also like my video about Vivo, which had a similar story of struggling against platforms like YouTube. Other than that, if you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and even consider subscribing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
I know what I thought was interesting, that price shit. I didn't even know they had that up. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. Like, they said 5,000 for an Instagram post. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Alright, though. Y'all like the video, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment. I wonder how much Shade Room charge, though. You know what I'm saying? What's another big page? I wonder how much Akademiks charge. I know he not like Shade Room. He probably way less than Shade Room. What's another big page? I don't know. Shit. I feel like Shade Room the biggest, right? Anyway, about like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Peace.